This college basketball picks and Big South Ohio Valley and NEC tournament previews edition of the Sports Gaming Podcast is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, NHL, college basketball, and more. Sign up today using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Champs. Run your own March Madness pool and enter Champs free bracket contest for a chance to win $1,000. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs to enter today. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
Hey, this is Larry the Cable Guy. You're listening to SGP. Wait, hold on. Say it again.
The Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking that money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Okay, Sean. CJ and I were talking about
already here.
Al Bernstein? Is that who the boxing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he in Celebrity Deathmatch? I feel like his voice was in.
I just think that going to him on the cards, that okay, CJ was doing a great impression in The Office last week.
Great,
yeah,
great to see CJ back in the studio, healthy man in the box, back in his box. Great to see him back. Check out the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. Kramer, this is what
he actually identifies as the bet detective now.
Oh, okay.
Right.
He's like Colby. He's got a million nicknames.
It's a complicated
Joining
time.
us on the line, Pick Dundee, aka Colby Dant. What's up, Colby?
Oh yeah. I mean, March is up. The top two teams in the A-Sun are eliminated. They're gone.
I mean, what kind of idiot would take chalk in the A-Sun? I mean, this is madness, right?
Well, there's someone over there, and look, he also still defends.
I don't even know. When the number one seed, when I saw Colby tweet out the number one seed goes down, the A-Sun, and in my head I go, oh, I bet Kramer was on them, and then I looked at and Kramer on Eastern Kentucky.
March Madness is like the NFL draft. You want to make sure you get as many bullets as possible.
Sean,
you bragging after 1 of 32?
Well, and I'm going to critique myself as well, but while also blaming Colby. Colby, you keep putting Syracuse on the sheet. I mean, yeah. I'm a simple man.
Oh, really?
I'm a simple man that can't control my temptations. It would be like if every time we do an episode of the show, I get to see a picture of Sydney Sweeney's tits, and you're like, "Hey, do you like that?" I'm like, "Yes, I like that. and then every time I say I like it, I'm all in on it, and that's a trap."
Well, buddy, look, they were being talked about as a potential bubble team. You got to put it on there. And how about Georgia Tech basically ruining Wake Forest's season unless they win the ACC tournament? You just had stuff going left and right. And Sean, I'll have you know that your co-host there had the audacity to you were late. You were a little late. You know, I understand.
Audacity.
The audacity to sit there and ask me my thoughts on the Manning at the University of Texas that did not
opting out. Like Uncle Eli opted out of the Chargers.
This is just a family thing. You know what I mean? It's a family thing. Just they're come on. They're not.
In fairness, if I had money, I wouldn't sell my likeness for $500.
Really?
Probably not. If I had money, I might be.
Wouldn't you want to play as yourself in the video game? Yes.
Yeah, but I could also understand the idea.
Well, that's the only way Arch Manning's
cheap.
going to see the field is if he plays as himself in the video game and then swaps himself in.
Just so we're clear, I don't know if Colby was there, but Sean, you and I watched a game where Arch Manning, I believe he was a junior at the time.
He looked bad.
They were playing against IMG or some Florida academy, and they were getting their shit pushed in. And it was like, oh, this is not an elite prospect. This kid's never going to play elite football. Not going to be in the NFL. That's the prediction. I'll say it right now. Arch Manning never plays a snap in the NFL.
Wow,
just like his dad.
No, I
what are you gonna say? Bronny James never played in the NBA too.
I mean, unfortunately, Bronny James looks like he's following in the footsteps of Jordan's kids, not Jimmy Butler, the other kids.
Harold Miner.
Well, he's fucking Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. I mean, that's an all-time move by the Jordan son. Did you see that? I guess they broke up temporarily, but they're back together. So love finds a way.
Yeah. What do they? It's do they have a name for the 2-time three-peat? It's the wobbly H of championships. All right, we got a tremendous amount of games.
We got a ton of games to get to, and of course, we're going to be getting them down on them over on cut.com using that promo code SGPN. The ultimate put your money where your mouth is. Great for some of these, Nova, Seton Hall. I already know what side I'm going to be on, but could I find someone that's dumb enough to take Seton Hall? I'm going to have to go over on the cut.com promo code SGPN and find out. And Cut is great as well, offering custom bets. Of course, they did list Kramer versus me as a bet. I saw some guy put $700 on me. Shout out to you, sir. It was a push. We both got 7 and 6. Although in hindsight, I should have made.
He got all the way hard, and it just went. Flaccid.
I should have made the locks part of the tiebreaker because I went 2-0 on my locks. So shout out to cut.com promo code SGPN, and also it is March Madness. So if you and your buddies running a bracket. Head over to Champs, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. Very easy to get set up over there. You can run your own bracket, and you get a free chance regardless to win $1,000 in their March Madness bracket contest. I think it starts Sweet 16. So, but the catch is tiebreakers are determined by who enters first. So register now. And then I think you get a free entry as well if you use them for your March Madness pool. Get all the info over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs.
Can I say that's a genius tiebreaker?
First to enter?
As someone who has run contests before.
Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I agree.
I mean, the only difference I would make one slight alteration. Obviously, it's a free contest.
Yes.
For a paid contest, it's your payment date.
Ooh.
Your payment timestamp is your tiebreaker. That would solve a lot of problems. I mean, certainly would have solved that fantasy beef we saw spill over into the X streets.
That was hilarious. Did that guy ever get his $100?
Can we just have a quick moment?
Imagine going viral over trying to doxing a guy and trying to ruin this guy's life over $100. It's like, I mean, I agreed with the guy. He came in second place in this dumb fucking league. They should have given him $100, but he went off the rails trying to collect his $100.
I mean, if some fantasy nerd pulled that shit on me, I would act just like that other guy. I'd get in my car and whoop his ass. I think just in general, you made a comment about being out on best ball this year, Sean, and I was thinking that's ridiculous. But then I've been starting to think the entire world is in on best ball. What better time for us to just as a show just completely be out on best ball? We'll see.
Real zag there, right?
We'll see. I don't know if I get my succulent from Underdog, I may change my tune.
Well, Underdog,
I'm waiting.
I'm best ball. No thanks, but pick 'em.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
I mean, we'll save it for the read, but got a lot of positive feedback on us cashing that sweet plus 300 on the Underdog Pick'Em. Max A. Smith cashed the over easily, and then Josh Flopkowski there under PRA as advised by Colby. That was didn't even have to sweat that guy out. Max A. Smith got it in, I think with 8 minutes left to go in the first half. That was awesome.
We did.
Well, that's what I do.
We did miss our DJ Horny.
Yeah, DJ Horny. That one didn't come through. Although I'm never gonna regret going with DJ Horny.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You made a reference that made me think about something I was watching before the show. Not fit to speak about publicly. It was I was deep in the dark webs.
Let's go.
All right, let's talk about some actual games. Thought it'd be good to, as we're rattling off the conference tournaments, instead of just touching on the worst of their games, aka their playing games, talk some actual games for Wednesday, March 6th. And oh, by the way, some of these conference tournaments we get to later, we got a little daytime basketball.
Woo,
so
let's go.
Set your clocks. But first up, we go to my favorite window. The 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast spot that FS1/Fox/ the Big East have taken over. Newark, New Jersey. We got Nova. We got Seton Hall. Nova playing some ball. Seton Hall scrappy at home. What's the Sean's obviously taking Nova. Colby, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take Nova too right now. What, they've won 5 of 6 and their only losses at UConn.
Don't let the Cats get hot, Colby.
This is like a playoff game, though. I can't wait to watch this because both teams really need this win. But I think Nova right now, the way that they're playing, it's a hard fade. So give me the Wildcats plus 1.5 there in Newark.
No, I mean I understand why you the case for Seton Hall and Seton Hall at home, but not only is Villanova number 1 in the nation at the free throw line, which I value as a better 81.7%, but the defense, people aren't talking about this Nova defense, Colby. And that's why I do think they could make a run. 13th in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. That's going to get it done against Seton Hall. And they're just playing great. Seton Hall's offense, not amazing. I think they're going to be able to turn over Seton Hall. And, yeah, you can't fade Villanova right now. Fade them at your own peril.
Seton Hall also good at the line. Worth noting.
Nah, not okay.
Worth noting.
Go
ahead. No. I was just going to also point out the Seton Hall is a be wary of the team that is propped up by a strong offensive rebounding percentage. So, with all of that being said, Seton Hall is coming off an absolute by the dip situation. Back-to-back road spots at Creighton, at UConn. Of course, they're going to get their shit pushed in. That's a tough roads or back-to-back road spot for anybody. Fade Villanova. They're due for a loss, as Sean would say.
No way.
They're due for and it's on the road. I mean, this team, Seton Hall has been a much better home team than a road team. Go ahead.
Shout out to Storm the Damn Court in the chat. Josh, we just got the shirts up on
yes.
Yeah, at the SGPN store. Josh, can you show what the link I just sent you in Slack so we can show that fire shirt off?
I like the Colby's not only does he bring his soundboard, but he also takes over producing the show.
Oh, Colby uses Slack when he wants to. When it's us, like, hey, yeah. Colby, check Slack. I don't know, my computer's not working. Oh, look at that! Look at that beautiful
thing. Look at that thing. Storm the court, people.
Get a Court Stormer t-shirt now over at store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Some people will point out the similarity between the Gordon's fisherman, but our attorneys advised us that is a completely
check in
unique
with our
fisherman.
Our attorney Prick Dundee is here. He can answer that question.
Is that the Gordon's fisherman? Cole? No. Attorney Cole Esquire, Colby D Esquire.
No.
All right, so we're clear. Store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Check it out. The shirt came out great as always. Jake killing it in the merch store.
I'm just picturing the F line. Oh, let me fix the. I'm just
Trevor's saying, is that the guy from the fish stick boxes? No, we can't confirm or deny that, Trevor. That we acknowledging that would imply, our artists, they get inspired by real life and actual fishermen. So I'm not going to answer that question.
Yeah, no, I was just picturing the F line commercial where Colby is flirting, twisting the phone cord around. But instead of the normal audio, we just have the just say no. Also, I wanted to unrelated to the court storming that Colby's just talked about, probably different context. I definitely wouldn't look up court and storming on Urban Dictionary.
Oh, really?
And come to your own conclusions. I definitely wouldn't. Storming at least has
Court Stormy Daniels. Is it some sort of act?
It's separate words, and if you combine the definitions, you can get into a real dicey. Who knew Storming had such a provocative side definition? I'm on Seton Hall. Let's go. One Jersey legend to potentially some other Jersey legends. Get the job done. You can't lose to Nova. No, oh, by the way, Nova really broke our hearts against Providence too. I'm not turncoating. Northwestern heads to East Lansing, Michigan. You know, when I saw the list of games, I almost deleted this one. 4 p.m. on the West Coast to take on Michigan State. After a road trip like that, Colby, I'm sure they're going to need to take the bus through the old car wash. Michigan State -9.5. What are we doing?
I was a bit surprised at this line at 9.5. I know Northwestern has a couple of injuries with Lamborg being a game time decision, but Ty Berry out for the year. But
bless you.
I'm I'm all over. The line is telling you to take Michigan State here. We know they're in a desperate spot. It's March. They've lost 3 in a row. They
lost
are
Ohio State.
I don't even know how the committee's they're just gonna pull their power and say, hey, we're the Big Ten. We're putting Tom Izzo in. I know that they're complete ass 17-12. That's what's going to be hilarious when JMU does not make the NCAA tournament with the best record in college basketball, because they're going to lose and still have the best record in college. I mean, if they were to lose, they would have the best record still in college basketball. And then they're going to put a team like Michigan State in at 17-16, right? And then JMU is going to have the win at East Lansing. And it's going to be fucking hilarious. But I'm all over Michigan State minus the points here. The line is telling you. Let's go.
Yeah, I do like how Colby wants JMU to lose for this to happen. he does. He wants.
I enjoy shit talking with Patty C.
And for the record, JMU, according to Bracket Matrix, JMU out, Michigan State in. So there you
Michigan State's always going to be in. I mean, they've been good at home. ATS 11-6. They've lost 3 in a row. They got to just be super. To Colby's point, super desperate. It's just, man, I don't know.
How many times have they covered
this Michigan State team broken though? Is what
suck? But the line is telling you 9.5. Why is this thing 9.5? I mean, they played back on January 7th. Northwestern won by 14.
Yeah. I mean, what are you? Are you just so you're purely in conspiracy theory?
I am in. It's Izzo time. He's gonna get the whistle. They gotta find a way to get him.
Colby's not selling me. I understand the quote unquote lines telling you, but my eye is telling me this is gonna be a little closer game. And I think Michigan State's gonna have to win 1, maybe 2 games in the Big Ten tournament to get in.
I mean, they should still have to do that.
I agree. I'm just saying. I think this game is gonna take a couple years off old Tom Izzo's life. I'm gonna take Northwestern in the points. I mean, Northwestern plays clean basketball. They're good on the road. They hit some threes. I think they're gonna be a little pain in the ass against Michigan State here.
You hear that, Kramer? He wished death on Sister Jean. Now he's wishing death on Tom Izzo.
No, never. I love Tom Izzo.
Who goes first, Tom Izzo or Sister Jean?
I mean, it's
can we get cut to list that?
That don't cut.
Well, if Jay Billis had his wish and she was locked up, I mean, that'll take some years off your life.
Oh man, imagine
the medical care in the prison system's no joke.
You got to be careful. That's that they say that's where the worst of it goes on in the medical ward. That is. I will take the points here.
Really, you're taking the dog. Now I'm worried. You're taking Northwestern.
It's
Kramer?
a big number. I realized I need to stop disobeying Ken Pom when possible.
What does Ken Pom have this?
7.
All right. Yeah, I'll take the points.
Tennessee heads to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Cox of South Carolina. 4 p.m. on the West Coast, not North Carolina, South Carolina. It's kind of more of a y'all than a y'all. Hey y'all is Texas, and it's a hey y'all is South Carolina. Tennessee, they all agree. Just the retards of the South. -5.5 here. If I hear one more person tell me that Tennessee is going to win the national championship, do they not know who Rick Barnes is?
Shout out to Alan Cooley.
Is there a whole generation of people? He's going to be upset with the retard comment I just made about the state of Tennessee. I will say that I do have very many fond memories of driving through the state of Tennessee. Maybe I'm heading to Middlesbrough to play some rugby. A lot of good, disgusting looking houses that have just amazing barbecue inside. Colby, maybe I don't know if you've driven through the state of Tennessee, but it just looks like an absolute shithole of the worst kind of diner. Horrible looking structure, and then what you walk inside and it's just all you can eat barbecue with like not even a wall to the back where they have.
Well, there is something where if it's a barbecue place and it's super fancy, although what was it, that Blues barbecue?
We're in California.
Baby Blues,
it doesn't count. This is like roadside. This is the kind of stuff they throw on the side of the highway. Oh, it's good shit. Also, Tennessee, insanely good firework game. Have definitely crossed the border to score some sweet fireworks. All right. Well, Tennessee is crossing the border to take on South Carolina again, -5.5. I don't see this as a massive recruiting swindle for Barnes, but I'm just shocked at how mainstream the take of Tennessee. Great value in the national championship market. Colby.
This game is basically for the SEC championship. I know Auburn and Bama still in the mix. Bama lost to Florida tonight. South Carolina beat them the first time. If South Carolina wins this, they have the tiebreaker on them. And I know Tennessee still plays Kentucky on Saturday, where South Carolina has to go to Starkville. So both teams could lose. But if South Carolina wins this, I think it's pretty likely that they could win the SEC championship regular season, which would be pretty phenomenal. They beat Tennessee by 4 in Knoxville. Look, Tennessee may win this game, but I'll take the points. South Carolina's 14-2 at home, and even those two losses, even those two losses at home, they blew double-digit leads. One was an 18-point lead against LSU. The other was like I think a 12-point lead. They're too good at home, and the crowd's going to be behind them. I think they can stay in this game. I know Tennessee, people saying, hey, national championship team, perhaps because they have a lot of veterans. Well, South Carolina has a lot of veterans. Now, they're all from the portal, but they're all veterans in college basketball. Lamont Paris was talking about this past offseason, saying he's going to go out and get a bunch of veterans from the mid-majors, and that's why they've been so good this year. I'm on the Cox plus the points.
Tennessee
Can we get that clip?
Tennessee,
not Cox, multiple.
I mean, how
does that work?
So he sounds kind of like Ryan.
Is it like one of those better?
I want a dick rubbed on me tonight.
I love how loud that clip is compared to the rest of the soundboard. I'm not changing it.
Is it like one of those beds of nails where there's multiple Cox?
That's a great visual. Yeah. Tennessee on the road, 4-6 ATS. South Carolina 10-6 ATS at home. I think they hang around in this game. I think they're a live cock, and I mean, I understand Tennessee's very good, and they need this. Everyone's talking about revenge, but as we're talking about, they got Kentucky to close out the season. Could be looking ahead a little bit. This just feels like a 1-score game. This is going to be a game I think that comes down to last possession. I like having 5.5 points and the home court. So give me South Carolina.
Seems obvious to me. Also, I mean, if you're Rick Barnes, you got to try something different. Maybe catch a couple L's, go heading into the tournament so you don't screw it all up. I mean,
well, South Carolina's interesting. I could see them. I hope they make a run in the tournament, but I would worry that maybe, they win the SEC or have a crazy run in the conference tournament and dump the Gatorade too early because they're exceeding expectations so much right now with this season.
Auburn, Alabama, South Carolina, Kentucky. That's the run they're on. This, if there's the letdown spot in this little flurry to end the season, this is it. I'll take in another dog, John.
Really?
Yep. Write it down.
Dog.
All right. Next up, we got Xavier as they head to Indianapolis, Indiana. A couple days late. The combine's all over. I don't know what they're going there for. Oh, they're playing Butler. Colby's going to tell us how lit this environment's going to be. 4:30 here on the West Coast, Wednesday, March 6th. Butler laying 2.5. Colby, what side you on?
I mean, I think you got to take Butler right now. Xavier's guys are injured. Butler's fighting for their postseason lives. I just think, but you got to take Butler just because the fact that they're at home in Hinkle, where they're 11-5 this year. They're just a healthier team right now. They're the better offensive rated team. They're similar in defensive rating. They're at home, and I think Xavier's pretty much eliminated if they don't win the Big East tournament. Butler is still like, if they can just win out.
Yeah, but what's your handle on what happened to this Butler team, Colby? I mean, they were playing really good ball, and then February hit, and they lost to Marquette, Creighton, Villanova, Seton Hall, St. John's.
Thad Matta has a job. That's why he's moving on.
No, I mean, is it that? And certainly bounce back against DePaul, but
that doesn't count.
I know, but I'm saying, like, what do you think happened to this Butler team here towards the end of the run?
They just hit a losing streak, and earlier in the year they had their chances. They probably should have beat UConn in Hinkle.
They're a weird team.
I think it was the Seton Hall team they should have beat too. They were up double digits. They blow that lead at home. Seton Hall ends up stealing that. Those were critical games because, let's face it, most of these teams all do hit losing streaks within the Big East at some point. And those losses weren't part of their losing streak. Their losing streak was recently. So when you combine both, you have a situation where they're now on the outside, but they can still get in if they win this. And like, to me, if they can have a few wins in the Big East tournament, I don't know necessarily that they have to win the entire Big East tournament, but they at least have to beat some ranked teams in there. So I will go with the home team here. Like I said, they're healthier. They're the better offensive team. They're both a similar rated defensive team. I think Xavier has a slight edge, and they're at Hinkle. So let's go. Give me Butler.
Neither of these teams made the list on Bracket Matrix. Butler did look good earlier in the year on December 15th against Saginaw Valley State. That was a nice, nice win against.
Really put them in their place. I'm with Colby. I'll take Butler -2.5.
Oh boy. I mean,
it's a tough spot. So I'm going to default to the home team, and Butler, 78.6% from the line. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Xavier on the road is really what it is.
Butler
beat Georgetown by 5. They lost at Marquette, at Seton Hall, at UConn, which you would expect. They beat DePaul on the road, which God bless them.
Both of these teams have recent victories against DePaul, which is good. That's good. I think this is. I don't think both of these teams, Colby, probably have to do pretty well in the conference tournament, if not win it all. Even Butler, I think. I think Butler probably has less of a prayer than maybe you highlight. I know the schedule has some good stuff in the beginning, but you can't lose 5 games in a row and 6 of 7. But
Xavier would have to win the Big East championship. There might be a path for Butler if the other teams on the bubble lose, where they could just get to the Big East championship and still get in.
Maybe, but the recency of how they have looked over the last two weeks of basketball, not good. You know what? I gotta mix it up. Give me Xavier. Thad Matta's got it. He's already got his back.
Ryan in love with them dogs here.
I was robbed. The world was robbed of my Porter Moser bit, and now I was robbed by Porter Moser and his horrible goon squad over there in Oklahoma. So I'm mixing it up a little bit. UConn heads to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to take on Marquette. UConn laying 5.5 on the road here. UConn took Marquette out to the woodshed when they came and visited their place, and one of the more beautiful cities in this great country. I believe it was Stoll, Connecticut. Marquette revenge spot, easy money, right?
Maybe. I mean, their top player Tyler Kolek is out. He's not playing the remaining of the regular season. I loved it if he was playing. I guess I'll still take it because this place should be lit, and I feel like they can give him a game, but I don't know. I would like to see their best player play this game.
I don't know.
Well, per the Ken Pom projection, this is 3.5 points off of that. So is he worth 3.5 points?
He's their best player.
So it's almost like Colby saying, yes, he is worth 3.5 points.
And this is a line that's out, right? Not a projected line.
Yes. I'll take Marquette at home just because I feel like, I almost feel like if you're UConn, you want to lose one of these games before the tournament. But I don't know. I mean,
Hurley versus Shaka though. You got to go Hurley. I don't know. That's tough. It is 5.5.
81-53 was the score on February 17th.
Yeah, because they might
destroyed
just be a much better basketball team.
That
Like,
was, but that game fell out of control. Give me the home team.
Smash!
Big East home team.
Really?
yeah, Marquette beat him in the
Yeah.
Big East tournament last year. So
Yeah, they invoked their big revenge. This game means less to them. That's how I'm selling it to myself.
All right,
and my clients.
I don't know. What's the chat?
Will
doing?
not be a lock here.
Hurley owns Shaq, as Chad G's pointing out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sticking with UConn. They're fucking awesome.
Shout out to Gary K. Hurley's. I assume he's trying to say bitch. He's calling it a bitch chin. Pretty funny. I mean, got his. Hurley is an all-time, like, just absolute pussy. Just the way that he bravely told everyone how the big change in his coaching was he became less of an asshole, but he's still an asshole.
Yep.
He just became less of an asshole.
The mental health thing in the offseason too.
Fuck off.
Like, I suffered from mental illness after I won the national championship. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? You know what I mean?
6 p.m. on the West Coast, Red Ames, Iowa, where BYU and the Soak squad come to town, take on the Cyclones in Iowa State. Iowa State laying 6.5 here, Colby. BYU on the road. I assume we're fading them.
BYU won at Kansas last time they won on the road.
I know.
This is interesting because you have Iowa State, which essentially has this game and then the Farmageddon game in Manhattan, Kansas. But they are one game back of Houston. Houston plays at UCF tomorrow, and then Houston plays Kansas on Saturday. So they could essentially still get the 1 seed. Having said all that, I still think Ames is Ames. They're 17-0 at home for a reason. And the fact that BYU won at Kansas, I think, puts even more of a target on their back. I will take Iowa State minus the points against BYU.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect for Iowa State. You have that, you can point to it, be like, all right, let's not let this happen to us. It seems pretty obvious.
I mean, I locked up BYU against TCU, and that was an incredible run. I mean, they were down so much. They were down 17.
You were on the right side the whole time.
No, I'm saying they were down 17.5. Yeah, you got to credit the elevation for some of that comeback.
College basketball.
Now I think they go on the road. I think it kind of runs out here. Although this BYU team is not to be fucked with. I mean, certainly some of their success comes at home, but I mean, winning in Kansas.
They got their ass beat by BYU last time too, Iowa State.
Yeah. Revenge game for Iowa State.
15-point jobber.
The problem is this does feel like a hair high at 6.5. I'll take it, but I'm with you. You got to take Iowa State at home.
Yeah. Always. Although I do like the idea of BYU coming in. I mean, is BYU just are the new teams in the Big 12 is the Big 12 overrated, Colby?
Iowa State, real quick, is the best team in the Big 12 ATS. 14-3 ATS at home, but not too right behind them is BYU at 12-5. Of course, at home, on the road, BYU falls down to 2-7 ATS. So it does feel like that Kansas game probably an outlier. I will take Iowa State, but I don't know what to do with BYU in the Big 12 tournament and the regular tournament. They're going to be an interesting team.
Yeah, Iowa State's just got to hustle around the 3-point line. They'll be fine. Shut down that 3-point.
Breaking news. This is our first.
What do you mean?
First official play for Discord.
Oh, interesting. They
Discord
were hot tonight.
Yeah,
they were hot tonight. Mississippi State heads to College Station.
I need Boise
Texas.
State to pull this out.
Speaking of hot,
fucking down 8.
You got to check out the parade scene in College Station. It's to die for. Texas A&M laying 1.5. They created a whole branch of the military just for parades. Buzz, Virginia Tech will welcome you home if you'd like to come back for a 5-year stint.
The home of losers. Come on, Ryan. You don't want Buzz. This guy's
wrong team's favored.
Oh, you're right. I mean, how can you back Texas A&M at this point? They've just been a massive disappointment.
Give me one last buzzsaw because this will be it. This is the last time we'll get to do it.
I thought you said wrong team's favored. They're favored.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The buzzsaw is over.
I'm confused. So you're taking Texas A&M?
The
Colby,
wrong team is.
am I drunk? What?
The wrong team is favored.
Yes.
Texas A&M's favored.
Yes.
I don't think they should be favored.
Okay.
I'm not taking Texas A&M.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying give me one last buzzsaw because he's about to get fired.
Okay. I thought you were trying to do. You were saying give me one last buzzsaw, and meaning you were going to take Buzz in this situation.
Meaning the saw is going to break. You ever seen those videos where they demonstrate what happens when you put your hand in front of one of those like high speed saws, and there's like some crazy technology that somehow it doesn't cut you at all? That's what's going to happen to the buzzsaw here. Mississippi State's coming to town.
Kramer, there was a lot of talk about
Hail State.
There's a lot of talk about Colby and whether or not his shelves are level.
What do you mean?
No, it was a big item in the college experience.
We checked the shelves.
You saw the bubble?
The bubble is right in the middle. It's fierce.
All right, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have to do a day. I'm gonna have to go over to Colby's house. We're gonna have to. It's gonna be a full day of fixing things, including this fucking unlevel shelf. It's ridiculous. I can see it. I can't unsee it now.
See, here's how it's not level. The people think it's not level because the room is oddly shaped.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. So they think it's not level, but it's level.
Colby's floor is unlevel. He lives on a wobbly apartment.
Yeah. It really is unlevel
floor, but
it really is unlevel. Yeah, it really is unlevel.
I mean, our office is. I don't think the floor is completely level, and it's created some havoc.
I spending hours of my life unleveling level stuff. All right.
Mississippi State, I think, is the only team that's shitty at the free throw line that I'm still willing to back, and especially in this situation.
Fight.
Yeah,
it's 100% going to be a rock fight. These teams are
Texas
very similar.
A&M's offense is bad, man.
I'm on A&M, guys. A&M's going to win this game.
Really? Why do you?
Mississippi State's a horrible team on the road. They're 2-7 on the road. A&M will win this game just because Buzz. Just when you count out the buzzsaw, he'll get this win and a little bit of momentum heading into the SEC. Heading into the SEC tournament. I think they have Ole Miss after this. They'll probably beat Ole Miss, and then they'll go into the SEC tournament, and people will say, "Hey, what does Texas A&M have to do?"
They have to win their whole conference tournament.
But still, like Mississippi State has proved to me, like that's one of the teams they could be playing Detroit Mercy, and I wouldn't take them on the road.
I would take Mississippi State over Detroit.
It's a rock fight. I don't want to take one team's better at the rock fight than the other team. I'm going to take the better rock fight team. I agree with you normally, but Texas A&M's been dog shit lately.
Yep.
Even at home, even against bad teams like Arkansas. Hail State. Indiana heads to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Gophers are laying 5.5 at the barn. They were once the ATS darlings. I believe they've come back to earth a little bit here. Colby, Indiana and their racist candy stripes. I assume you're not backing that kind of attitude.
I'm sorry, my dog busted ass over here. It's horrible. it's really
a disgusting act.
Oh man. God.
We'll have to work out a fan.
I can't even think right now. What are we talking about? Indiana and Minnesota.
About racists from Indiana and the Gophers.
Look, I think Indiana is pretty shitty this year. You know what I mean? Like Mike Woodson, they're talking about he's not going to be fired. I don't know why they wouldn't do that, but especially when Dusty May's out there, who's an Indiana guy. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but Minnesota has been golden at home. They're at the barn minus a loss to Missouri. So I guess I'll take Minnesota minus the points. I know Indiana just won on the road at Maryland. No way they sweep on a back-to-back away. So give me Minnesota at the barn. They've been the better team all year. I know that their non-con was a joke, but they've been the better team all year. And I'm not going to fade them now. They're the 71st rated offense against the 292nd rated defense. That screams win for the Gophers, who are fighting for their postseason lives. So let's go.
Yeah, I hope the Gophers get in the tournament. I mean, they've been the best team in college basketball ATS. Almost pulled out the late cover against Penn State. I had them in game live, and they were down I think 10 in the first half. I bet on them. They got down like 20 points at home, came back. This team has like a real mojo, a real like we believe and vibe to this team. I think they could. I think they could win a couple games in the Big Ten tournament. It'll be interesting. You think they're on the bubble for the regular tournament, Colby?
They got a lot of work to do, man. They probably got to play because their non-con was so bad. They're gonna have to win a few rounds in the Big Ten tournament and win these games.
Yep. Give me Minnesota. Revenge. Also, they lost by 12 back on January 12th.
So you're on Minnesota as well, Colby?
Yep. Oh,
yes.
Of course
I'm on the Gophers. Yeah.
Another play here for Discord, getting Indiana, lock it up for the Gophers for us. Minnesota, nice spot here. Hey, you guys sign up with the Underdog Fantasy using that promo code SGPN, get the 100% deposit match. Coming off a nice little plus 300 cash. I'm salivating for another one, Colby. I just keep pressing like a hot craps run. I'm going to keep pushing it. What do we like for tomorrow's slate, AKA Wednesday? What do you got here in the old hopper?
Yeah, you really got to, you got to feel what's right here. Like a blind man in an orgy, you got to feel your way out, Sean. All right. Michi Johnson.
You have to know
hold
when
on.
to
There's probably some smelling going on there.
Colby, also,
feel and smell.
I think part of the key is that we have one lower, one higher. When we go both higher, that's when we get into trouble.
What do you mean? I hit recently. Right?
It was with a lower and a higher. Though.
Yeah, it was when we're fading Filipowski and pairing it with a higher. I'm just saying that's.
I got two hires here, so I mean you're gonna have to ditch that.
Here we go.
All right. What do we got? What do we got?
So Michi Johnson.
How do you spell this guy's name?
There's only so many guys, Sean.
He plays for South Carolina. He's very good, and they're taking, obviously they're at home. He's got a higher lower than 12.5. You want to know why this is going to hit? It's because he scored 25 the last game, 22 the game before. Now he only had 5 in Oxford, right? But go back to the Auburn game, he had 22 as well. Michi Johnson's going to hit over 12.5 or higher than 12.5 points in Columbia, South Carolina.
We'll get it right also, one of these days.
Yeah. And also let's go to your boy Justin Moore. Higher or lower 10.5 points. He's coming on lately. It's a guy was injured last year for the season, so it took him a while, I think, to find his stride this year. I think 4 of the past 5 games he's scored 10 points or more. So let's jump on Justin Moore higher than 10.5 points.
Wow.
So
hires, 2 hires.
Yes, which is always a little dangerous, but so we got Justin Moore higher points.
Next time,
Michi Johnson higher points as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Next time we're going to do a higher and a lower. That's the new requirement.
I mean,
unless
I
it's
feel
hits, huh?
Oh wow.
Are you seeing that, Ryan? Because I'm not seeing any either.
I was not actually looking. I was working on fixing something over.
You're not seeing me. I'm seeing it right now. What are you talking about?
Colby might be logged into the non-sharp account. Right.
We're getting limited.
No, I don't see either of these guys.
This last one was the last straw.
I'll get him in as soon as I see him over on.
Oh, dude, they took him off. They took Justin Moore off the board.
Oh wow. See,
Colby, I see it, but it's check us out. I'm gonna screenshot you this right now. They just made him like watch. I'll send it to
they take some
I'm seeing it. They're opening markets as we speak. Like they just opened Villanova. It will come back out. So those numbers.
We'll stick with
fine.
those guys. Underdogfantasy.com promo code SGPN. Get the 100% deposit match. I mean, it'd be crazy not to, play around with a free $100 for March Madness. What are you doing?
Yep. Higher, lower, not in between.
Nope, never.
That's actually the night that would. We should send them that idea. Do a higher, lower, in between.
Kramer, let's talk Big South Conference tournament.
Well, Big South, always one of our favorites to talk about because who's in the Big South, Colby? The Whores of Radford, the 9
He's one
seed.
of those guys who will get penetration.
But Sean, as the 9 seed, they are 25-1.
Yeah,
to win it all. USC, that's of course South Carolina Upstate, 8-1, 150-1. Sorry, 8 seed, 150-1, along with the 7 seed Charleston Southern. Pretty much telling you they have no chance. Presbyterian, the 6 seed, also 25-1 with the Whores of Radford. Longwood, 12-1. Gardner Webb, the 3 seed, 8-1. Winthrop, the 4 seed, 7-1. UNC Asheville, the program we hear from time to time in March. Sean, 2 seed, they're plus 290, and High Point plus 105. First question: all of these teams are eligible to play in the big dance?
Correct.
Okay. I always like to ask that. So we don't really. I don't know. My instincts are always to look chalk here, but when I saw that Radford has this tremendously disproportionate futures price, it made me write down a note. Ask Colby what the fuck is going on in Radford.
Well, and I'll say this: shout out to Matt Gannon, wrote up our Big South Conference tournament preview. We are written versions of a bunch of conference tournament previews available over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. He actually made his dark horse play the Radford Highlanders because finished decent down the stretch. They beat 2 of the top 4 teams in the conference, and they got this kid by the name of Brian Antione. That's probably why Kramer's attracted to Radford. You're a nice Italian name like Antione. He can get hot from deep. So
he's from Jersey. Oh no. He went to Villanova for 3 years.
I think the Whores of Radford are a fun play at 25-1, and I think you also got to fire on UNC Asheville. They are in the tournament every year for a reason. One of the top seeds. You're getting a good price at this. Drew Pember, pretty fun to watch. So yeah, I like UNC Asheville and the Whores of Radford. What are you doing, Colby?
I do like the Asheville angle. See, to me, you look at the bracket, and Asheville and Gardner Webb are going to play each other. I think you want to take shots on both those. Gardner Webb plus 800 is incredible value for a team.
Yeah, they beat Asheville twice.
Yes, and they just have proven it all year long that they're a pretty damn good team. So I love their guards at Gardner Webb. And so to me, take Asheville, take Gardner Webb. You're going to have one of the two in the championship. I understand the other side of the bracket. Longwood has been really hot to end the season, but High Point came out of nowhere this year. Best season in a long time. They were projected to be way further back. They had at one point the biggest winning streak in college basketball. They're an interesting team because none of us had thought they would be that good this year. But I don't know that they're going to be able to put it up against, Winthrop is a good program year in, year out. They're used to being in this spot. Asheville's used to being in this spot. Longwood, Radford used to being in this spot. So I don't know that I trust High Point yet. So I'm just going to take a future on Asheville and Gardner Webb. And I think one of the ones will hit. If I had to take a third one, it wouldn't be Radford. It would actually be Longwood because they're red hot lately.
Well, Longwood just beat
Cox.
High Point.
That's what I'm saying. Longwood's playing really good down the stretch.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with a lot of the Radford, using Radford as the example, Radford, another way to frame how they've closed out their season is they've lost 7 of 9 games. And so I don't think I'm getting cute in this one. I do think I think Colby's strategy is probably a clean one here. I like the idea of taking a stab at Gardner Webb because of their success versus Asheville, and then putting that with Asheville, you're going to come out with a team in the championship.
I think the conference in general is up. Sometimes some years it's just like 1 or 2 teams, and it's a deeper conference than most years.
Worth noting, they are 18th in Ken Palm's rankings, which is very high for the Big South.
Yeah,
still in one bid territory, but to Colby's point, there's some this will be some quality basketball. And once again, we have a conference tournament with some strange situations. First of all, the first game is tomorrow, aka today, maybe if you're listening, Wednesday, March 6th. But the rest of the bracket doesn't start until Friday, and so I threw the games on the schedule. If we want, we don't have spreads for them yet, so we don't have to talk about them. We can maybe loop back around later in the week.
Yeah.
The only game we have on the schedule for Wednesday the 6th is South Carolina Upstate taking on the Horrors of Radford. Radford only laying 4.5, which Sean doesn't seem to match up to the odds that we're seeing in the futures market.
Yeah, I mean USC Upstate 150 to 1, Radford 25 to 1. I'm all over the chalk here. Radford laying 4.5. They can actually hit the 3 ball. I think they coast.
Home sites all the way through for the. Oh no, I'm sorry. High Point is the host.
Yeah,
All the games we played in the Nito and Mariana Cuiban Center. High Point University in High Point, North Carolina.
What's
beautiful.
interesting about this matchup is Upstate beat down Radford on February 3rd by 9, and then in the first matchup on January 20th, Radford only escaped with a 3-point win. So maybe that's got something to do with the line. I don't know, but
It's
I'll take Radford too. I'll take Radford too, but I am a little reluctant based on the outcomes specific against Upstate this year. But I just think Radford's got better players, and I'll take Radford -4.5.
The outcomes specifically against the team they're about to play. I mean, yeah, it does seem like it's a fairly even match. I mean, something stinks about the futures odds. Something stinks about the game in general. Do the Horrors travel? Do we know how far this is from Radford? Any chance they brought some help?
Can't be too far, but the Horrors always travel, from my experience.
What's great about Horse?
We'll lay the points here. The futures market can't be wrong, right?
No way. Hey, maybe you want to head to High Point, North Carolina, catch some Horrors in person. You can sign up over at GameTime.co. Use the promo code SGPN. Get $20 off your first purchase of tickets. Highly recommend. Game Time makes it so easy to sign up, get tickets, last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. If you haven't used Game Time, again, what are you waiting for? Not only for game tickets, it is Game Time, but also concerts, theater, whatever you or the old lady are into. Game Time has you covered. Use that promo code SGPN. Get $20 off when you sign up. Again, it's your go-to app for last minute tickets, lower fees, better prices, made for mobile. GameTime.co, promo code SGPN.
All right, so I guess stay tuned till later in the week. We got the other first round matchups are Winthrop versus Longwood, UNC Asheville versus Charleston Southern, and which, by the way, that's going to be a just an absolute lit atmosphere. Gardner Webb versus Presbyterian is the nightcap. All right, let's see. So we've officially put the Big South in the bag, Sean.
Oh yeah,
moving over to the Ohio Valley Conference, where another little baby conference here. Colby probably wouldn't prefer we speak about him like this, but they do have a couple games for us to talk about and 8 full teams in the conference tournament futures odds. Bottom to the top, Tony Romo's alma mater, 7th seed, Eastern Illinois, 100 to 1. Southern Indiana, the 8 seed, also 100 to 1. Tennessee State, the 5 seed, along with SIU Edwardsville, the 6 seed, both 30 to 1. Western Illinois, the 4 seed, 11 to 1. UT Martin, the 2 seed, plus 450. Little Rock, the 1 seed, plus 190, and the favorite, Morehead State, plus 115 out of the 3 seed. Sean,
well, this is crazy because it's a double bye system. So number 1 seed Little Rock and number 2 seed UT Martin are already in the they're already in the quarterfinals.
This is like the West. I think was it the West Coast Conference that pioneered this method, Colby, where you avoid having your best teams get screwed by just putting them in the semifinals?
Yeah, and it's absolutely ridiculous. All right, like especially this conference where no one. What are you trying to pad the stats of Little Rock? You're not gonna what? Like I understand it a little bit more in the WCC, but in a conference like this, it's like, what are you doing? And it's
don't you think that means like, hey, we are rewarding you for having success in the regular season?
They're weighing their regular season more. What Colby's saying is that the Ohio Valley Conference is only ahead of the Patriot League, MEAC, SWAC, and Northeast Conference in terms of quality, and so like you don't have a Gonzaga in here.
Yes, you're trying. See, the point of doing it is to pad the outright, so Gonzaga wouldn't, accidentally get a loss to a terrible team. You know what I mean? The point is to have them get the pass and play better competition. This is hilarious to me. This is just stupid. And yeah, I mean, by the way, grab a drink right now. Grab a drink because last year I just poured this right here. This shot of whiskey here.
Look at you.
Well, this is why you need a drink, is because this. Good luck with this conference, because last year you had SEMO, who was terrible, win the conference, right? I understand the logic with Morehead State. They were the favorites last year, so they might be in the chip on the shoulder. So I would make them odds-on favorite over Little Cock, the 1 seed there. But if you want to take a shot, so I'll put me down for Morehead State plus 115. But I think an interesting play is the Leathernecks of Western Illinois with their guard play with James Dent and was it Myers? I think he's the other kid. I think Western Illinois could be a sleeper to get there. So yeah, but that's what's hilarious is they set up this crazy bracket to help their better teams, and their better teams are still going to lose because the gap between 1 and 8 is very razor thin.
You and Sean hit on SEMO last year.
Yeah, we did.
11-1. Worth noting.
I'll take Colby's. I'm not gonna admit that I didn't go deep. I didn't go deep on Western Illinois, but I'll take Colby's word for it as the dark horse. And Colby, you call him Little Cock, but it's not the size of the boat. It's the motion of the ocean. And Little Cock is set up pretty good here. I mean, you're giving me plus 190 for a team that's already in the quarterfinals. That's the number 1 seed. I don't know.
I would love to see it. They've been a nightmare handicap team over the past 4 years. They have former Washington Bullet point guard that I grew up watching, Darrell Walker, as their head coach. I would love to see it, but over the past 3 or 4 years, I feel like they're one of the hardest teams in college basketball to understand.
They only got to win 2 games, so from that point of view, I'm going to take them at plus 190.
Who plays at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana? Is this this is the Evansville? All right,
SIU, right?
The Evansville,
Evansville or Edwardsville?
Evansville. So the OVC tourney is being played at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana, the home of minor league hockey team, the Evansville Thunderbolts, also home to the Evansville Purple Aces, which is somehow a men's basketball team.
Yeah, they quit their football team though. They're pussies.
Yeah, we don't like Evansville for that reason. Why do they get to host this?
It's Evansville, I guess. Everyone likes to gather around the town.
Okay, I thought there might be a good reason for it. If you look at the numbers, it does seem clearly like Morehead State should be the team. But I think to your point, you said you laid out why you shouldn't take chalk in this tournament, and then you took the chalk in the tournament, Colby.
Just because they were the 1 seed last year, they were clearly the best team in the regular season last year.
That beautiful whiskey you guys gave me for Christmas.
I trust them. I think they have the best roster in the conference.
Yeah,
but they have to win an extra game. So for me, I'm still taking Little Rock.
I'm with Sean. I'll take Little Rock here. Little Rock also closed on a nice little run. They beat Morehead State.
Yeah.
I don't need multiple teams. One chalky 1 seed is perfect for me. Thank you very much. You want a long shot?
No, I don't. Don't force it, Ryan. I don't want you to.
I'm not going to force it.
I don't want you to blow your units.
Yeah, I don't. Not a long shot. I see that is interesting to me, but we can hop over into the first round. We're talking 4:30 here on the West Coast on Wednesday, March 6th. Like I mentioned, Evansville, Indiana plays host to 8 seed Southern Indiana taking on Tennessee State, the 5 seed. Tennessee State laying 3. Again, it's always interesting to kind of compare the odds when you're looking at these spreads. 30-1 versus 100-1. Now we were just talking about Radford 25-1 and USC Upstate 150-1. And that was a 4.5 point spread. Doesn't seem to have the right correlation here. Still, I think what do we learn?
We should
play
hit
the
on
favorites.
This. We should
Tennessee
hit on this.
State has some good players.
What's that?
Southern Indiana is not eligible to go to the tournament.
Oh boy.
So they're playing with house money. They're playing with house money here. There's no.
Man. All right.
Yeah.
Update. Put me down for a Southern Indiana future. No, I'm just kidding. They're going to lose in the first round. I see what Colby's trying to do.
I think for this game though, it's tricky because that you saw it with Queens when you have no pressure because you're not supposed to. You're not, you all of a sudden have a little bit of life. They also split the regular season series with Tennessee State. They won by 2, and then in the other matchup, they lost by 5. So it's the line is accurate, I would say, but why not? Give me the Screaming Eagles +3.
I'll lay the points. It's early round. Like don't let a couple weird upsets get you off the system. You don't stop playing first half unders now, do you?
No, I think Tennessee State, more talented team. I'm laying the 3.
I got this at 4.
I do it is interesting. The team with nothing to quote unquote, the team that can't win the tourney, I think is dangerous. So,
my model has this at 4.7. Eastern Illinois heads to Evansville, Indiana to take on SIU Edwardsville. The 7 and 6 seeds here. Edwardsville laying 2.5.
They just beat Edwardsville on February 27th by 5. Yeah, you did. Got to be concerning to have that type of revenge game. They lost the other one by 9 though on December 29th. I still think you just beat this team. Evans, do you think Edwardsville will have some fans travel? How far is Edwardsville to Evansville?
How the fuck would I know?
All right,
if SIU Edwardsville is
well, they're both in Indiana, Sean, is my point. They're both in Indiana. Do you think what's that distance? Pull it up.
I'm
Kramer.
looking it up right now. We got 106. Whoa, we may have accidentally fallen into some 166.6 miles. You want to drive down that road?
Road trip.
That's the road of the
Fuel
devil.
up
I'm taking Edwardsville. They're gonna have that home edge.
Well, where did that pussy Tony Romo play? I'm fading it. Give me Edwardsville.
Well, it's funny you said pussy. This is a matchup between the Cougars and the Panthers.
No, I mean, I think big picture, I do like taking some of these small favorites in these spots. You look at the EIU numbers, not a lot to write home about. I mean, you can make the same case.
Yeah, you got to lay the points. Why are you overthinking this? Sean?
I'm not. SIU -2.5.
I'm trying to explain why you're taking the points is the overthinking.
Oh, okay.
These are all bad teams. Although unfortunately it does seem like these teams aren't that far apart. But again, the odd 30-1, 100-1. It seems like one of these teams has a much better chance. And honestly, if you do the math on what the money line would be implied between 30-1 and 100-1, that's off. Because if you're thinking about how the parlay would work the other way, it's like a 3-1 right there. This is not a 3-1 money line. If best case, it's a 150, which means it's 2.5. Great value. I just talked it through. Trust me, you're gonna have to trust me on this one.
I'm trusting you.
All right, Ohio Valley Conference in the bag. Will we be discussing any more of these games? Maybe the championship game. Probably not, though, right?
No, championship.
Let's
go.
We'll just circle back and check on who won. All right, final conference of the evening. We're heading to the NEC. Whenever I hear NEC, I think about that video game. At
just
console.
means less.
No, that's another one. But I think about that video game console where you got to pick the various games. I'm now blanking at what it was called. Neo Geo, I think. And by the way, shout out to the NEC for putting out the sickest. Everyone puts out the PDF with a graphic. The NEC puts out a social, like clearly they got a social media team, if you know what I mean. The NEC games are on home turf all the way through. And the odds are, and again, Sean, another nice little neat and tidy 8-team conference tournament. Guess what? No buys. This is a classic. You don't see too many 8-team 4-round or 3-round tournaments. St. Francis, PA, the 8 seed is 180 to 1. Long Island, the 7 seed is 130 to 1.
The Shacks.
Oh, they are
Colby
Shacks. Real quick aside, I used to vacation in New Hampshire. Not sure if I've ever told this story, but when you're a little kid and you run into people with really thick, like ocean dwelling cities in New England accent types.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Anyway, long story short, kids are these Boston kids are trying to chum up a game of sharks and minnows, and they're running around the pool going, "Let's play Shacks and minnows." Bunch of the Yankees had no fucking clue what they were talking about. Anyway, FDU, the Long Island Sharks, 7 seed, 130 to 1. FDU, who I think they've done something recently relevant in college basketball. 5 seed, 30 to 1, 20 to 1 for Wagner, the 6 seed. What is this? A French school? Lemoyne, 4 seed, 15 to 1. Sacred Heart, the 3 seed, 10 to 1.
Kramer. Lemoyne is located in Syracuse, New York, and they're the best Syracuse team.
Wow.
I saw your impression. Don't think that got by me, Colby.
Well, I mean, Quebec is over there. That's basically France. Sean's very upset right now. Central Connecticut.
I'm gonna burn my Bayheim jersey.
Central Connecticut, the 1 seed is plus 135, and Merrimack, the 2 seed, plus 110. First question: is everyone eligible?
No, Lemoyne, the mayonnaise is not allowed.
Wait, why is Lemoyne mayonnaise?
Isn't that a company for mayonnaise, or am I crazy? Wasn't there's something similar to that?
You talking about
Miracle Whip? Sorry,
no. There's a company that was similar to that, I think.
Oh, you guys ever had Miracle Whip?
Of course, I've had Miracle Whip.
I ran into this problem in college. I'll never forget the day we were doing the whole we're not all going to buy all the groceries. We'll share some shit. Ran out of mayonnaise, and one of the roommates comes back with Miracle Whip. Had no idea it was a disgusting not mayonnaise thing that people replace mayonnaise with.
Trevor in the chat says Miracle Whip greater than mayo.
That is the worst take I've ever heard. You must just put sugar on your. What do you normally put sugar on your sandwich? I'll take 2 scoops of sugar on my sandwich, please. Do you like Miracle Whip?
I haven't had it in a while, but I
almost want to get some Miracle Whip. Bring it into the
Miracle Whip Miracle Whip won't ruin my sandwich, but I prefer mayonnaise.
Oh, fuck you, Colby. You're a sandwich guy. Miracle Whip's disgusting. What do you have? White bread too? Some bologna?
I'm saying, if
Can
you
I
give
fix
me
you?
a fucking,
when I
put together a sandwich, I might not know the difference.
You go to Subway, don't you? You liked Subway before they had the meat slicer.
When I eat bread, I don't see color, so I don't even know what color it is. I just
wow. Yeah, that's why you eat all the white bread.
No, I just couldn't tell you what color it is.
You like the lack of flavor. All right, what are we doing here in this one, Colby? Other than not taking the French school.
Colby, can I
up?
tuck you in a Sacred Heart play?
Oh, I love the fucking Sacred Heart play. Let's take fucking Sacred Heart.
What is this?
And I think you should take the fucking Long Island Sharks. All right, because they have the most talent. They're basically Rod Strickland's got 2 of his sons. I don't know if you guys have caught this Sharks team.
Yes,
he has 2 of his sons play, and they also got this other guard, Eric Acker, who can play. It's a shame they don't win any of these games, but they're talented.
You're really selling me on Long Island.
I'm just saying, if I'm Merrimack, Merrimack should have lost to him the first time they played him. Long Island blew like an 18-point lead. It, to me, is a dangerous game because
they lost by 15.
The second time.
Oh,
the first time, I'm just saying the more talented roster is on Long Island. They have better players.
I am with Colby. You look at their, I think they're a fun 130-1. Now, granted, they're 7-21, but most of their 7 wins are in conference. So it's like if they're gonna win, it's gonna be in conference. Don't let the Sharks get hot.
That's how most of these shit conferences work.
Let me paint this picture to you. All right, if you watch most of the NEC, it's like the Greenies back in DJ Madness.
How dare you?
Right?
How dare you?
You trying to say there's a lot of variance?
You put it on the Long Island game, you're like, hey, who the fuck is this guy? Right? And they have a couple guys that are just way better than anybody on the court, but they just can't win games. So to me, it's a dangerous matchup for Merrimack. Even though Merrimack, I'm sure, has the chip on the shoulder. They won the conference a year ago, but weren't eligible. This year they are eligible. And they got to see Fairleigh Dickinson, the 2 seed, basically win the knock off Purdue and get all the accolades. So but I do think Sacred Heart's the play, though. I think, to me, Sacred Heart has proven it down the stretch, and I think it's worth a sprinkle on Long Island just because I know they're ass, but they have the most talent on one roster in this conference to me.
They play at a fast pace, Sean, and they have the 349th ranked offense in the country. So they're only better than the 12 other offenses. And
it's kind of like really the fast. Florida Gulf Coast play. That didn't work for us, but they have a few guys.
Now, Colby, as part of the handicap, assuming some of the players they're going against are going to get trapped in an elevator. No,
they're not playing at the Steinberg Wellness Center. Remember, the Steinberg Wellness Center, Long Island's home court, the elevator did break. They also had the backboard fall down on the guy for dunking. But they're not playing there. Unfortunately, Long Island's got to play on the road. But I'm just saying it's a tricky first opponent because it's almost like Penny Hardaway when Memphis enters the AAC tournament, they're going to be like a 3 seed, and they're way more talented than anybody in the fucking conference. So it's an interesting.
Give me the Sharks at 131 and Sacred Heart. I mean, Sacred Heart, I think best offense, best field goal percentage, effective field goal percentage, best 3 ball, like. They have the offense to get hot and carry them to a conference turning win. I get why Merrimack's plus 110, but I'm a gambler. Give me Sacred Heart and LIU. Kramer, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I like Merrimack. Also like Sacred Heart. Okay. You guys are crazy for taking LIU. I mean, Sean, go look at their team profile page. They are comically bad. Like Colby somehow just read you a poem and you fell in love with this team. I'm going to plead that you undo this play.
No.
Okay.
It's going to be funny when they beat Merrimack the first game. It's going to be funny.
All right, let's quickly rattle through these intramural matchups. On Wednesday, March 6th, 4 p.m. All the games start at 4 p.m. They're just not trying to stagger the games at all. Figure no one's gonna watch this shit anyway. We just got this is the conference that puts their games on their app only, right?
No, they have. Yeah, I mean, sometimes ESPN Plus will cover them too.
All right, download the NEC app to get all the NEC tournament action. St. Francis of Pennsylvania, of course, not the other St. Francis.
Well, the other one quit their athletic department. Remember, they used to have the divider that come down in the middle of the court, or like so you're playing the game. They're breaking my heart over here. Got rid of their whole entire athletic department. That's fucking what's going on in New York City.
The nerds win sometimes. St. Francis. They head north and hopefully they don't get pulled over for speeding as they enter New Britain, Connecticut to take on Central Connecticut, who is laying 13.5.
Do you guys know what happened on February 1st?
Oh no. Was there a court storming?
Central Connecticut State beat St. Francis by 1 fucking point. Now they did beat them by 14 the other time, but I'm taking that fucking points. You can't lay this many points in an NEC game. In an NEC game, you cannot. This is like 1,000 points. Give me St. Francis plus the 13.5. I know they're the real Blue Devils without the pussies, but you can't You can't take Central Connecticut State laying that many fucking points.
What do you think Ken Palm has, Sean? If you had to guess, do you think Ken Palm's like way off this number? Ken Palm projects 13.
Really? So it's right on.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm with Colby. I'm taking the points. I mean, it is.
We have a system.
What's the system?
You just lay the big numbers in these early shit tournaments. The one thing that any of these teams do well is the Central Connecticut
right.
defense.
All right, so I'll play CCon because I can't have Central Connecticut and Merrimack losing.
I'm not letting Colby is. I don't know what it is about.
This is the dumbest approach I've ever heard for the NEC. The dumbest approach I've ever fucking heard.
Hold on, we're gonna pull this.
Central Connecticut can whoop their ass.
Worst conference in America.
They just won by one. They just won by one on February 1st.
Worst conference in America, Sean?
Yeah,
the NEC. Moving along to the second game. Again, they all start at 4 p.m. So even the conference knows no one's watching. We're heading to North Andover. North Andover. Is that a typo? North Andover, right. Massachusetts.
After further review, I'm taking St. Francis.
What happened?
I think it's going to be a little closer. Did a little deeper diving.
Are you looking to repent after your sins against Sister Jean?
Yeah.
St.
Sister
Francis.
Jean's got to get me into heaven. Come on, sister.
Yes. I mean, Sister Jean, she had her way with St. Francis back in the day. 4 p.m. on the West Coast, but we're heading to North Andover, Massachusetts, where Merrimack, the 2 seed, laying 15.5 against Colby's Long Island Sharks. Dealing with all that pollution in the water there in Long Island. If you've never seen I think it was the Daily Show. They did that Staten Island trying to secede from the Union video. Very, very funny stuff. Not quite Long Island, but you get the idea. Colby, tell me why you're taking the points with Long Island here.
Do you want to get rich?
Yes.
Plus 1,000
just for one game.
Just for
plus
one game.
1,000. I mean, like I said, this game went to overtime. Long Island blew a 15-point lead, right? Long Island has more guys. Like, I get it. Merrimack's better coach. They're a better coach, but I'm saying they actually have athleticism. Long Island has athleticism.
More players. Like, do they get a 6th guy on the court? Is that what you're saying?
They have athletes. You don't normally get athletes on these fucking teams. So like,
no, they did take Fairleigh Dickinson to OT as well. They beat Sacred Heart. They beat Moyne.
I'm gonna back Merrimack. Samba Diallo and Merrimack lay the points, and Caitlin Clark's brother, Adam Clark.
I'm just saying.
Way. I'm all over the Sharks here. Come on.
Yeah, the Sharks are.
Give me the
live.
points.
As long as the bus gets there on time, which I know they've had issues with that.
They've had bus and elevator issues.
Dude, get this. They were playing at
How
Columbia.
Can you not love this team, Kramer?
They were playing at Columbia, which is still in New York City, and they were like 3 hours late. The bus. They hit dense traffic. That was the excuse. They hit dense traffic. Yeah, it's got to take the subway like the Warriors. Get the Long Island Sharks on the train. Let's go. No.
Yeah, you got to take the train.
They have more talent. If you're getting this big of a number, a plus 1,000 on a more talented roster.
More talented. You're hilarious. I'll lay the points with Merrimack. I was looking last year. I also took Merrimack last year. FDU was the second favorite. So close.
FDU won, right?
And they did win. Yes. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Syracuse, New York, where FDU is taking on the 4 seed Moyne, laying 3.5. I assume Colby, after saying that they were the better team in Syracuse, New York,
is
really going to lay the points here. Well, Colby, give us a handicap.
Moyne all day. The Dolphins jump up, and they've been playing a lot better this year than I think most people figured out. And I do appreciate Avetta, saying that someone misspelled Lemoyne on the screen there. Lemonnier.
It's close enough. It's French. We're not French. We're American.
Lemoyne's gonna fuck them up, dude. Lemoyne can play, especially at home. I feel like Lemoyne's been a much better team. They're 9-3 at home. Meanwhile, Fair Dick is 8-8. They had their magical year last year.
Yeah, they did.
Lemoyne's hot. They get it done at home. They have the better offense by a substantial amount. They also have the better defensive rated team by like 60 spots. So let me load up on those Dolphins. Come swim with the Dolphins and the Sharks, guys. Maybe a little parlay.
Do we have any idea why they're called the Dolphins?
If I had to guess, they're, the pussies in upstate New York were like, they probably used to be called something else.
Syracuse is known for their Dolphins.
You think there's something racist and they're like, all right, we got to pivot fast.
Yeah, we can't.
Something that wasn't racist that they said, well, this could be racist. And then they said, let's just be the Dolphins.
My uncle accused some Dolphins of stealing his hubcap, so I'm assuming it's a racist term. I like Lemoyne 75.7% from the line. Can't beat it. I mean, FDU 68.3%. No part of that. To Colby's point, Lemoyne's a better team. I think this number is fairly short.
Why a dolphin? The Dolphins is a symbol and mascot of Lemoyne College. The use of the sign of the dolphin became common among Christians of the 2nd century AD. It was popularly considered to be friendly towards man and represented both love and tenderness. Noted for its graft and swiftness, the dolphin also symbolizes desire for knowledge. Okay. That seems odd because
they're super horny.
They do have pleasure sex. Is there even water in Syracuse? I'm not like how
far is Crystal Lake? They made those Friday the
Dirty
13th.
Dancing. Oh
no, it's not Dirty Dancing.
Oneida Lake is all right. There's a couple of lakes in the area, but dolphins are definitely not swimming in here. All right. Yeah, I'll lay the points. Fairleigh Dickinson had their magic. They'll get out of the way for the Dolphins of Syracuse. The number one in the Syracuse power rankings right now.
Number 1 in the Syracuse power rankings. Lemoyne, start your football program.
Love that. Wagner. Which, by the way, I'm still confused. The two brothers that play basketball in the NBA. It is Wagner. And yet, I was told by some people that went to a Magic game that they say Wagner on the PA system. Very confusing. Wagner heads to Fairfield, Connecticut to take on Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart -5.5. And I'm just realizing the NEC is like the homeless person's Big East. Sacred Heart,
they use that on their marketing materials.
I'm telling you though, Sean, their bracket really slaps. Sacred Heart laying 5.5. Colby, what are we doing?
What are we doing? We're watching the final 18 seconds on this UNLV San Diego State game. No, I took Sacred Heart a future. They're going to fuck them up. They swept them in the regular season. Wagner, they're just not going to go on the road there to the top. Look, Sacred Heart's 11-4 at home. They have the much better offense behind that home crowd. 201st offensive rating against 306th. All the difference in the world. Fucking Sacred Heart rolls. Let's go.
All right, let's lay it.
I'm with you, Colby. Wagner, a bunch of stat rats as they call them.
Whoa.
No, they do. That's what they call them. My buddy went to Wagner College. All the locals.
The Seahawks, please, they're beautiful.
Stat rats. They do. They were pretty good from the line, but this is Sacred Heart. I mean, Sacred Heart number 1 in the conference with the 3 ball, 39% in conference. This offense can get hot, and that's kind of my angle on them covering this game and winning outright for the conference tourney. Kramer, I'm assuming you're taking Sacred Heart.
They're a little concerned about the matchup against this Wagner defense, but yes, Sacred Heart. Like I said, 10-1. They're worth a decent shot in the futures market. That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. All right. Hey, talking about Hall of Fame bets. If you guys sign up with Hall of Fame bets, they are dropping their college basketball product later this week. So make sure you get signed up over there. Optimizing player prop parlays, game parlays. If you're going to be parlaying for March Madness, you got to be doing it over on Hall of Fame bets. Download the Hall of Fame bets app or head over to HOFbets.com. Use the promo code SGPN. Get 50% off your first month. HOFbets.com, promo code SGPN. And now time for our best bets for March 6th, 2024. Kramer, you kick things off. What do you like?
Well, I gotta get off the schneid. I know we've had this conversation with Colby before. Getting on the schneid versus off the schneid is very confusing. Lock Iowa State at home. Lock.
What do you got Iowa State at? That's minus six and a half. Okay.
Lock number 2. We're gonna take the points with Marquette.
Wow.
No, sorry, with South Carolina. And the dog.
Long Cox.
Let me just make sure I don't have any other dogs here. Oh boy, a lot of favorites. Okay, dog. Xavier. Butler.
Really?
This Butler team is ass.
It's interesting. I feel like Colby's kind of talking me into Butler.
Also, just had a little bit of a mix up, like a mixing up of the strategy.
Oh, okay.
Not a mix up. It's not like when I accidentally draft the 4th quarterback.
Oh, I thought you meant when you accidentally shred live sportsbook tickets from the circuit.
You mean create content?
Villanova is hot. You do not want to get away in the way of this Villanova Wildcat train right now. Catching 1.5 at Seton Hall. Love it. Lock me up with Nova. Also, like for my dog, give me South Carolina on the money line. Also red hot. Great spot for them. And then the best team, ATS, in college basketball. Give me the Golden Gophers at home against Indiana. Indiana on the road. You can't trust them. This is a great spot for the Gophs. Give me them laying 5.5.
I like
Colby?
that spot too.
We are locking up Texas A&M at home against Mississippi State.
Ooh, that's a horrible play.
Yeah,
Don't know about that one.
It's a horrible play.
Mississippi State ass on the road. And we're locking up Lemoyne minus 3.5 at home. The dog is Long Island. No, South Carolina. South Carolina.
A little scared of the Shacks.
Let's throw a parlay together though. Long Island and South Carolina.
Oh my God, that might break the online.
No,
I'm in on that.
No.
I'm in on that. Colby and Sean. I'm going to call this the big dog parlay.
Well,
big dogs only.
You guys
South
are
Carolina and Long Island.
You took down the United States Army tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
you should feel great about yourselves.
Yeah, you didn't hit your I Love America parlay.
That's because you went and get you.
Well, and you let the Nazis win. We should rename Kramer France.
You fucking
just
insurgents.
let he came up with a parlay of fuck the Nazis and then just got steamrolled. Do you want to give out a parlay, Kramer? You're not in with our South Carolina.
France was supposed to rename their country to Gaping. All right. I mean, the parlay that stands out to me is I think you do a little home team McGillicuddy, Minnesota.
Okay.
With South Carolina.
All right, I'll co-sign that.
I'm in on that. And you know what? Throw in Iowa State. 3 legs. Let's get it.
Colby, are you co-signing that? We all agree on these picks. Are you co-signing on this team parlay?
Yeah, I bring people together, not apart.
Who were the 3 again?
Oh, whoa.
Minnesota.
What's he doing over there? Did UNLV get it done?
UNLV did get it done. Yeah.
Colby might be
get some whacking in.
Oh,
a little distracted. Got some multiple browsers over there. Minnesota, South Carolina, Iowa State. Team parlay.
I like it. Let's ride.
Squad. We got to call it squad.
Let's ride. Hey, toss us a nice rating review over on Apple Podcast. Always appreciate that. It's March. We're just going to give you nonstop action college basketball picks. Download the SGPN app. Get college basketball picks page fired up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Check out the college basketball experience as well. We'll be back tomorrow talking more college hoops.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean. Stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Discord just officially wrapped up a 7-1 night.
Woo! Dong. Kramer, let it ride.